Wildfires have forced Manitobans in a number of communities out of their homes, and those mandatory evacuations can lead to panic and fear as there is little time to grab what you need and get out. Joining me now to talk more about preparing for an emergency like a wildfire is Jason Small with the Canadian Red Cross. Jason, good to speak with you.
Thank you for having me on.
When we talk about wildfire evacuations, can you give us an idea of just how quick they can be declared and how little time people have to react in most cases?
As like many other types of evacuations, oftentimes people have very little time to react, that they have to get themselves out of the home as quickly as possible. And that's why we encourage everybody to be prepared beforehand and to take care of all that beforehand so that they don't have to scramble when they have to evacuate in short notice.
So what should Manitobans be thinking about grabbing then or packing in the event of an emergency evacuation?
Well, we recommend that folks make a plan. So that is a full plan for their household so they know where to go if they need to be reunited, and everything a family needs to do to be fully prepared for a response. And then also a big part of that is the emergency preparedness kit. So that should be a kit that's easily accessible, close to the door, that you can just grab and go, and has some of the important things you're going to need for, say, the first 72 hours in a certain emergency. And those items can include water, non-perishable food, special needs like medications or baby needs or pet needs, as well as cash, first aid kit, and something like a crank or solar or battery operated flashlight and or radio.
You actually have a pack that can help people in emergencies.
Yeah, I have a Red Cross kit right here. You can get these at redcross.ca/ready, but we also have a full list on that website of how to make your own kit. And so that's just a big thing, that if you want to put your own kit together, we have all details on there how to make it. And I can just show you a few things we have in here. Certain things like a personal first aid kit. As well, I spoke about it earlier. This is a crank and solar powered flashlight and radio, because it's important to make sure you're staying in touch with the community just so you know what's going on. One other item we have here is just it's a collapsible water container, and it's a good thing just to have filled up that you can put in there and it's ready to go.
Yeah,
so those are just some of the items we have.
Yeah, all important things, because in those few minutes you have to grab something and get out, you don't want to forget important things. You touched on this a little bit about having a full evacuation plan, but how important is it for people to think about, if they had to evacuate, where they would go, how they would leave town, and who they would turn to?
Those are very important things for a family or a household to consider. And that's why we suggest putting together a plan. You can go to our website to get a template for that plan. Yeah, think about where you need to go. Say you're separated. Say when an emergency is called, somebody's at work and somebody else is at school. How are you going to reconnect, and where are you going to reconnect? Are there other people in your community that you're going to support or work with in a response? Maybe there's an elderly neighbor who's going to need help. All these things will be detailed in a plan, and the family should rehearse it and understand it. And this is all things we encourage, like that and the kit, is to do it beforehand, because you just don't have time to deal with those in an emergency.
Some very timely advice. Keep in mind, wildfire season just starting. It runs into October, so this is advice you can use for several months and years into the future. Jason, thanks so much for taking the time to share it with us.
Great, thank you for having me on.